Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rani Retno Palupy and now I want to talk about mental health. So, efficient and silent is our brain in carrying out its daily functions. We tend to miss how incredible and complex an achievement it is to feel mentally healthy, have a healthy mind, and continuously perform a series of almost magical activities. The underlying maneuver of our clear-sighted mood and purpose to appreciate what is meant by mental health and therefore what is meant by its opposite. We can take a moment to consider some of things that will happen in an optimally functioning mind first and foremost. A healthy mind is an editing mind, an organ that successfully filters out thousands of confusing or scary traumatic thoughts, ideas and sensations, certain sensations that need to be actively entertained in order for us to direct our life actively. In part, this means distancing ourselves from punitive and critical attitudes, judgments that make want to tell us over and over again how shameful and terrible we are long after the violence are no longer useful when we interview for a new job or ask someone out. A healthy mind doesn't force us to listen to our inner self voice that emphasizes our unworthiness. This allows us to speak to ourselves as we will to a friend at the same time. A healthy mind resists the pull of unfair comparison, not constantly condoning the achievement and success of others makes us go off track and leads us into a state of utter inadequacy. This doesn't torment us by constantly comparing our condition with people who in reality have a very different upbringing and way of life in life. A well-functioning mind recognizes the futility and cruelty of constantly finding fault. The nature of it is that a healthy mind will control the type of fear wisely. He knows that in theory there are a lot of things we can worry about, vessel that may fail, a scandal that would cause the plane's engines to fail, their wings, but he had a good understanding of the difference between what would be imagined to happen and what might actually happen, and he was able to keep us calm in the face of wilder possibilities of fate with the belief that bad things would not happen or could happen can be handled quite capably if they do so. A sound mind avoids imagining disaster. It knows that there is a wide, stable stone staircase rather than a step, slippery incline between itself and the disaster. A sound mind has a compartment with a heavy door that closes tightly. It can short things out. Where necessary, not all talks belong at all times when talking to a grandmother, and mind prevents the emergence of image of last night. Erotic fantasies while looking after the child can suppress its more cynical and misanthropic insight, and distorted thoughts about jumping on train tracks or cutting oneself with a sharp knife will remain to be brief, out flashes rather than recurring fixation. A healthy mind has mastered in the techniques of censorship. A healthy mind can calm the buzzing preoccupation so that it can sometimes focus on the world outside itself. A healthy mind can be present and involved with what and who is around it. Not everything that can be felt must be felt all the time. Can be good listener? A healthy mind combines appropriate suspicion of certain people with a fundamental trust in humanity, can take intelligent risks with a stranger. He doesn't extrapolate from the worst moment in life to destroy the possibility of something good emerging with a new acquaintance. A healthy mind knows how to hope. He identifies and then clings to some reason for keep going. Reasons for despair, anger, and sadness are of course everywhere, but a healthy mind knows how to bottle up negativity in the name of resilience. He clung to it proof of what is still beautiful and kind. Remember to appreciate it. Although everyone is still looking forward to a hot shower, some dry food or dark chocolate, a chat with friends, or satisfying day of work refused to be silenced by many reasonable arguments in favor of anger and despair. Outlining some of the characteristics of a healthy mind help us identify what could go wrong when we fall ill. We must recognize the extent to which mental illness is essentially as common and less embracing as physical illness. True mental health involves an honest accept of how much illness there is to endure, even the most competent and meaningful. I think that's all for me. Thank you so much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.